What's going on, everybody? My name's Jason and I'm here with X91Investing. In this video we're going to be talking about trend. So trend is one of the most important parts about trading. Trend tells you the direction of the market, so whether it's a bullish market or a bearish market, it's going to tell you when to buy, when to sell. Generally, there's going to be much more in-depth ways of actually figuring out how to get in and get out of the market, exit and entry points in the future. But currently we're talking about just the general. You go long in an uptrend, you don't really short in an uptrend, and you'll short in a downtrend, and then you won't really go long in a downtrend. It's called kind of trading against the trend. So we'll be going all into all that in depth in this video. So yeah, come on, let's have a look. So we're over here now on Microsoft Whiteboard. It's not trading view, but we'll be in that in 2 minutes. We're just going to run over quickly uptrends, downtrends, and sideways trends. So when it comes to trend analysis, we need to identify whether it's an uptrend, a downtrend, or a sideways trend before we do anything. Because if we don't want to be trading against the trend. Like I mentioned in the intro, you don't trade against the trend. When you're in an uptrend, you don't short typically. There will be shorting opportunities. You will see shorting opportunities, but they're not advised to be taken. You're in an uptrend. You're trading against the trend. It's like cutting. You're not going to cut. You're not going to plane against the grain. If you know what to do with woodwork, you can split the timber and whatever. If you're planing, and there's going to be extra bite, and it'll cause trouble. Same thing when it applies to trading. When you're in an uptrend, you're going to long. You're going to go long. You're going to buy. It's the whole way trading has always been. Investing. You're buying with the hopes to the price increasing, and you can sell off then and make money. Right. So that's an uptrend. You're making higher highs and higher lows. Basically what that means is price comes up, as you can see here on this chart. Price, this isn't a real chart by any stretch of the imagination or whatever, but this is just the green line showing that the price is moving up. It creates a high, it comes down, creates a low higher than this, so the price comes down and it turns around, it creates a low. Price breaks this level of resistance created by the high. It creates a new higher high because this high here is higher than the previous. Price comes back down again. Price, when it goes on a big rally like that, it needs to relax for a second, so it's going to pull back a little bit, and it's going to bust on again. But what we're seeing here is a higher low, because this low is higher than this low. Higher low, plain and simple. Price pushes up again, creates a new higher high, because this high here is higher than the previous, and so on. Right, that's what an uptrend is. And when we look at the actual live chart, it'll be more apparent. We'll be able to look at the open, high, low, and close, the chart of the candles, and get a more good understanding. So next we have a downtrend. Right, downtrend, the complete opposite to an uptrend. Price is moving from high to low. Right, so price is at a level. So we see a high, comes down, makes a low. Highs and lows, because we have no previous data to compare these two, we don't know if that's a higher high or a lower low or a higher low or whatever. But now we have previous data here to compare to. This is a high being created, but it's lower than this high. So this is lower than this, so it's a lower high, as we can see here. Downtrends, bearish trends, so the other ones are bullish trends because price is moving up. Downtrends are bearish because they're moving down. They're creating lower highs and lower lows. So price comes down, breaks the level, like we were saying here, comes along, breaks the resistance. We're breaking the support, coming down, and we're creating a lower low. Price, it's a retracement up the way, like a retracement down. It's the exact same thing. Price is pulling down. It comes up a little bit because, when a big downtrend, there's people kind of saying, no, this is worth more, this is worth more, this is worth more. But then the bears come along again. When this lower high is created, because this high here is lower than this one, this is really confirming that we're now in a downtrend, because we see here this is not necessarily a downtrend. It could be just a point but it's this point here is where we're confirmed that we're in the downtrend. Likewise with this one, it's not here. This is the point in which we know that we're now in a downtrend, because the price has gotten to a level, came down, but when it breaks the level, right? Actually, it's not technically, because they could be just making a little bit of a higher one. When we see the higher high being made, it's not necessarily. When the price comes down and retests that level that it's after breaking through, it's like your elbow. Price comes up to your shoulder, breaks down, comes to the elbow, but doesn't break anywhere below it and shoots up to where your arm is. It's a similar kind of not a great analogy, but it's the exact same as the uptrend, but it's a downtrend. Price is going lower, making lower highs and lower lows. Simple enough. What we're looking at over here, though, right, is a sideways trend. I'm just going to move it so we can see it properly. So prices fluctuate between two levels, right? It's flipping, right? We'll just flip, right? It's flipping between two levels. We can see here between $40 and $50. Over time, it's been making highs, lows. Say there's a high here, low here. But all these points in between aren't necessarily higher highs and higher lows, because they're not significant. They're not breaking the structure. This isn't breaking out here, creating a higher high or a higher low or whatever. It's not breaking out of the trend. You need to have that breakout and retest to actually confirm that you are now breaking that trend. So we're in a sideways trend here. This is kind of the indecisive. It's also called consolidation. So price is ranging, as it says here, ranging. It can also be called ranging. This works very, very well with the Bollinger Band. So the Bollinger Band is a mean reverting indicator. So there's a mean line going through the middle. There's two standard deviations of space. When the price hits one of those standard deviation lines, it's seen as a price is too high or a price is too low. And when you're talking in between a range, it's very, very easy to say, okay, sell. Like if you were looking at this price is coming up, hits the level that we know it's going to react at. Oh, we'll short. Oh, it's down at the level that we know it's going to, like we're basing this off of previous data, but we don't have the previous data on the chart, but this is where it's coming from. So we buy here. We go long, price goes, it fluctuates a little bit, gets to the level we want, we short price, but it comes up, it doesn't break out, so that's no reason to be getting out of the trade. Price falls, gets to the level, we sell, plain and simple, and then we buy back again. Simple enough. I don't know if I said buy or sell here. I was supposed to say short there. And basically just to briefly go over buy, you buy it, hold it, sell it when it's high, when it's at its new level where you're happy with taking your profit. And shorting is a little bit trickier, but I think I have a nice way of explaining it. You contact your broker gives you stock, say one stock, €10, and you sell that stock. Just they give it to you on loan, you sell it at 10, it's worth 10, you sell it, you get €10 for it. Then price falls to €8 and you buy that back off of someone else. But the broker says, hey, you owe me that stock. So you give them the stock back, but you bought that back for €2 less than what you sold it for. So you've made €2 profit. That's the easiest way of explaining it. That's as simple as shorting is, and it doesn't really get more complicated than that. Other than you can lose infinite amounts of money. You're limited in how much you can make. Whereas with an uptrend or going long, you're limited with how much you can lose, but it's unlimited in how much you can make. You're limited by zero. So when something goes to zero, you can't lose anymore. You can't lose any more money. You get me? So basically that's that. We're going to hop into TradingView now, and we're going to have a proper look at some actual data charts. So yeah, we'll get over there now. Right. So what we see here is the euro US dollar chart. This is a forex chart, and so basically what we're looking at here is, sorry, I can't find my mouse. There we go. So what we're looking at here is price that has gradually went down over time, and if we stretch out the chart, we can definitely see how extreme of a downtrend this was. But when you kind of flatten it out, it doesn't become more apparent. But we actually want to show it fairly well on the screen, so we're not going to mess with it too much. But we leave it like that. So we see here, right, there was a little bit of a consolidation area in this location, right, just up here. So look, we saw the price consolidating, ranging in a sideways trend, because it came up into this area, made a high, but it never broke that high, didn't go any higher, it came to a level, didn't really break that level until here, right? That was where we could actually restrict this box a little bit more. We could even bring it to there maybe if you wanted to, just to show the range of it. But price broke out and got to a level, and it sat at that level, but it broke out of it eventually. Broke down here, came along, retested that level. So we'll plot a few little bits on the chart. So we see here, so we'll call that a level. Sure, what do we say? I forgot I turned on that. I'm not used to having that on now, so but right, we'll just leave it at this. Price came down, boom, hit a level, boom, hits, creates a level, and it fluctuates around in there, dips, but it came back down for a retest. If that broke down here, came here and retested it and continued, that would be a confirmation we are now in a downtrend. But so far we're not seeing anything downtrend. We made a low. We've made a low. It's not lower than that low, significantly lower, so it's not really going to be considered. We're still in that kind of range, so it's not what we're talking about yet. Price came down, fluctuates, dips. We didn't get the retest. It's not a downtrend yet. Still look, boom, top. So we technically made a triple top here, another reversal pattern. So there's a lot of things showing. Okay, there's a lot of bearish pressure here. So, but price came down, retested. Right, price broke that level, retested it. Now we have made so we have a high, we now have a low, we now have a higher, lower low. Sorry, we have I go again. We have a high, we have a low, we have a lower high, and now we have a lower low because it's been tested with a lower high again because we've had that retest. Now we know we are in a downtrend, so we can actually plot our downtrend, right? Because we have 2 points to base it off of. So we can now draw our downtrend line, right? Based off of this retest. Because all you need is 2 points. You need 2 points to draw a line. Because if you have a singular point, it's just a point. But as soon as we have a second point, it's now a line. So all we need is 2. But more adds strength to that trend, right? So the more touches we have to a line, the better. Same with support and resistance. When we have support and resistance, we have 1 touch, 2 touches, nearly had a third touch, but we have a third touch here. We're showing there's a lot of resistance. Every time it comes up, it's bouncing. It's trying to break through, but it's just not able to. That's showing a lot of resistance. It's called resistance. It's like the ceiling and the floor. A lot of resistance at the ceiling, a lot of support on the floor. So price comes up, touches, comes back down, touches, touches, but it breaks through. Retests, breaks up higher. So people would have been thinking here, bit of an uptrend could be starting here. This could be the end of it. We could be seeing just in this location here. There could be a bit of, they could be saying, oh, something's happening here. People could have seen, oh, but wait, another thing. Oh, head and shoulders pattern. Boom. Look, head and shoulders. Boom. Continue to the downside. Reversal patterns constantly popping up. We see the double, say the triple top here. Reversal pattern, head and shoulders here. So there's a lot of things pointing towards the downtrend. Just wary of the video getting too long a little bit as well. So I think we've kind of dived a good bit into the kind of thing of downtrends. In case I hadn't explained it too well in the start, we've kind of gotten into it here. So looking at this in hindsight, and I don't really like the idea of the hindsight trading, but plotting a downtrend here, you'd be talking something like that. That when this broke here, like we're coming up here, looking for the retest there. I'd say there was a lot of people with limits here, ready to push down again to the downside, or even here, people boom down to here. Oh, shot up, might be another time to go. No, it shot up through. People would have had stop losses, say based off of maybe this. Down along here, a lot of people would have been stopped out here, because of this big spike. Things plummeted then because people would have been here and they'd be like, yeah, no, this is going down. Oh, banks, maybe a bank came in, or a load of banks collectively all came in and loaded up here, caught a load of stops and limits the whole way going up through, and then price went the way that people wanted to go. If you were here on Sunday, we went through all that, the thing with the banks having to fill their orders, sweeping out people's stop losses. But what we see then was the turn of this into an uptrend. But we're going to look at something else for the uptrend. This is where we are in 2021. So we're going to have a look at Tesla. Tesla is like, it has been phenomenal. Like we had a stock split in the middle of mid to late of 2020 because Tesla stock price went ridiculously high, up near 2,000. I know Amazon stock is up 3,000 or whatever, but for a company that would be relative, well, look, they're not exactly a new company. They've been around for a long time, but for a company that really only started taking off in 2020 with stock prices, just barely above penny stocks in the previous years. So eventually, like, the whole thing with the uptrend is, comes up, creates a high, comes down, creates a low, price pushes, breaks the level, creates a high, price pulls back, goes down, makes another low, pushes up and breaks that previous high. So we'll actually draw it. I think there's a tool here that's actually the path tool. So we have price, we'll actually make the chart a little bit more kind of spiky, because it's easier to kind of see then. So say price came to here, it retraced, broke this level, came up to here, retraced, pushed up, pulled back down, say that's technically low there, and pushed up to here. And actually technically we could actually say that price came to here but pulled back down. We'll actually plot the thing in its practically in its entirety, because why wouldn't we? And price got to its high, right? So we can see a lot of flip-flopping, but it's all in that upward direction. We see these green lines. So what we're looking at here now is getting a little bit more in depth into it, and this will be more in the advanced parts of trends, which we'll be getting into in the future. But this is really only to cover the basics of trend analysis. So we have price going up and coming down, and going up and coming down, going up and coming down, but it's all creating higher highs, higher lows. I used to mark higher highs and higher lows with, you might actually see them in these presets. I don't even know if I still have the presets in here. See, look, I have them all here: high, higher, low, higher, and whatever. But I just mark them now with little ellipses, little circles like this. But whatever. When price hits a trend line, that is a signifier that it's time to get into the market. So when I'm looking at this, I see, say we have the thing here, and we're right here, and we see the price struggling to break this level. So we're like, okay, the next time that this is coming, we're going to get in the next time it touches. So we're predicting that the price is going to pull back down. Well, technically we're thinking the price is going to go up there and then pull back down and hit. But no, we get in here. Price is coming along and we get in. Right, say we won't look for entry reasons because we're not there yet, but we'll say that, and we're gonna target the upper arm of the thing, and we're gonna set our stop. I'd set it probably. I'd have a fairly loose stop, because we are seeing a little bit of that resistance being brought to the table. So we have to be wary of that. But we see here, price comes back down and touches this level. That's when we're kind of looking for our entry reason, and we might drop from the day down to the hour if we're trading a little bit more short term intraday. So getting in this kind of time, we'd be looking for maybe getting in off of this big bullish candle here. Maybe look for the say big bullish engulfing candle. Yeah, look, there's a nice bit of a bull run there, so we might have gotten in here. Whatever. I don't really like hindsight trading, but for example, for the point of an example, it's as good as any bit of analysis. So, what we're looking at here is we're getting in here off of the trend. So when we're talking uptrends, we're getting in on the lows. When the trend makes lows, that's when we're getting in. When we're in a downtrend, we're getting in on the highs. So when the market is trending down the way, we'll just knock it back to the 12 hour. I actually kind of like looking at the 12 hour for my own analysis. That's the reason I have it up there on the bookmark tab. But in the downtrend, we'll be getting in off these highs, off of these levels, up in off the highs, whatever. That's not technically a downtrend. We're not seeing enough confirmation to say it is. And when it comes to trading, lads, it's all about confirmation. Confirmation. Everything needs to be confirmed. You're not getting in off of anything skeptic. You just need to have 100% faith in whatever you're saying. Yes, I'm okay with getting into this. Excuse me. So what we see is the price getting up to that level. We have our profit. We've taken our profit. Price got to where we wanted it, and we're waiting for the time to. We're waiting for the market to come back down. You see, what a lot of people, the reason you don't short in an uptrend is for this reason exactly. And I didn't pick Tesla just to show this example. This is just after coming into my head now, the fact I'm after seeing it, is when we break out of this, an uptrend it's not necessarily going to flip around in an uptrend. It's like in the sideways trend we had at the start. It's not going to flip around in that forever. It's going to break out. And the whole point of it is it going to break out to the downside or the upside? And where did it go? It broke out to the upside. So this is late say December, mid to late December, into the start of 2021. So, you know, we have, like, a lot of people would have had their shorts and their limit orders in this location here. And what happened? Price broke out and stopped everyone out and drove that price higher because everyone's selling. You know, they're in for their shorts and they have to buy back up here. So they're going to shove that price up higher. And so anyone that was in this location selling in the uptrend or shorting in the uptrend, they're all getting demolished because you're trading against the trend. And this is a prime example. Technically it would be a cherry picked example, not an ideal. It is definitely, it's the most ideal. You can see exactly what would have happened. You hop in for your short, you have no idea where to, unless you have a very, very specific system of setting your stop losses. You know, you're going to get stopped out straight away. You're probably aiming for around here. Really, really bad risk to reward on your trade. Awful in an uptrend. Absolutely, it's not. You know, it retraces by so little in an uptrend. It's not even worth talking about. This video is getting very, very long now, so we're going to just hop in onto another example of a sideways trend. Right, this is a prime example of Cogent Biosciences Incorporated. So this is a stock I found on Finviz. Basically, just in my analysis the other day, looking for mean reverting stocks. I'm implementing a mean reverting strategy. I'll be going over that if you want on Patreon. I'm actually working on the video. I was working on that lecture before this one. This one's for YouTube. So this is more given the more general Forex. This is going to be real Forex kind of oriented, but this works for stocks, cryptos, whatever you want to apply it to. All this trend analysis works for everything. So, and yeah, of course you have to combine it with your fundamentals. But here we have sideways trend. Price is flipping around in a channel, going from side to side. And if we even just look at this here, we've seen this breakthrough, but this does not mean that we're breaking out. This could be just like this, a little breakout. This could be just like this, another little breakout. It's not, we wait for the retest, or we wait for it to be out long enough and we see enough bearish activity to actually say that that's people are unhappy with the price below $9. Look, it's been flipping between 9 and 13 with the last, look, we're talking since July, you know, when that big massive surge came in, whatever to say. Look, we're talking about Cogent Biosciences, you're talking about vaccines, COVID, the whole thing, like Pfizer getting absolutely pumped up, and everything. So, like, you know, we can obviously see sideways trend here, a lot of indecision in price. People don't know what this is worth. Vaccine threw it up to this level. Vaccine indecision, not really knowing. We could be seeing here vaccine indecision, could be saying, okay, we're not too pushed about this stock anymore. We might go into Johnson & Johnson because Johnson & Johnson is getting there with their vaccine. So, you know, they'd be rolling out vaccines as much as Moderna, Pfizer and all the others that'll be getting theirs out soon. But whether these ads are developing a vaccine or whatever, people might have faith in them to develop a vaccine or whatever. I don't nothing about this company, absolutely nothing. I've been only looking at it with the last couple of days, getting an idea, looking at earnings and various things. Look, it's been weak over the last, you know, considerable amount of time. So look, we'll have to wrap this video up here. If you have any more questions about this, shoot me a message on either Instagram. That would be probably the easiest way of getting a fast response. I'll be checking the YouTube video just on the channel page. I get a list of all the comments and whatever, so I'll be able to check those there, and I'll check them daily. If you have any trend related questions, shoot me a message on either. And yeah, sure, look, we'll have to wrap this up. I'm a little bit into the swing of things with the streaming now, so don't forget, Sundays 7 p.m. we'll hop on for a pre-market analysis session. If you have any stocks that you want me to do a little bit of pre-market analysis session, kind of analysis, get a little bit of a read up on that mightn't be completely mainstream, I have my own little list, so I'll just flash it up on the screen here now. Facebook, Apple, blah 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 blah, you see them all there. They're my kind of main stocks that I keep an eye on a regular basis. So if you see it there, I'm most likely fairly knowledgeable about it. If not, shoot me a message. I might have a little look at it beforehand and whatever. But remember, 7 p.m. GMT, Sundays, every Sunday, for the pre-market analysis session. There'll be more Zoom calls and various live streams going on the Patreon as well, so get yourself involved in that. There'll be the first couple of episodes of I was planning to get 5 of them out this week onto the Patreon, so there's actually a bit of content there for people when they actually enroll. So yeah, look, we'll wrap that up there. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you know more about trend than you did before you came here, and I hope I didn't just waste 20 minutes of your time. So look, thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video.